Hello guys, in this video I'm going to do some work on this Toshiba R930. Let me show you some of the specs and problems of this laptop. It has a supervisor password, it has Windows 8 Pro license, an i5 3210M at 2.5 GHz. It should have had 6 GB of RAM, but I needed one of those sticks, so it only has 4 GB of RAM at this moment, and a 320 GB SATA hard drive, and obviously card reader, Wi-Fi, DVD writer. Yeah, this thing actually has a DVD writer, although it's reasonably slim even for 2018. It has a hinge cover that it's missing, so I kind of made a deal with the guys from Computers in Leeds that I always buy stuff from. They had a few of these in various states, and one of them was actually missing the left cover, and yeah, I told them I kind of need the right cover for a laptop, and I made them an offer, but they actually sent it to me for free. So, good guys, Computers in Leeds, thank you very much. You should go on eBay and search for items from Computers in Leeds if you are from EU. They really have good stuff, cheap stuff, it's really good. And the battery latch is broken, as you can see. Some scotch tape holding it in place. Don't really care about that. Let me just show you the info of this thing if you need it. It should have a 90 volts charger with 3.42 amps. Well, couldn't get exactly that. Actually I could have, but it was way too expensive, so nope, this one will do. If I could actually see, it's a 19 volts, 2.64 amps. And in my opinion, this thing will do just fine. And it's quite cute. It's a small charger for a small laptop. We will see how it behaves, but I'm pretty confident it will do the job just right. So the most important thing, I want to show you how to upgrade this thing if you want. And I'm going to start searching for the BIOS chip, because on these things I don't think there is any way of removing the password, and I'm going to try by refreshing the BIOS with a BIOS programmer. And my little girl is starting to cry in the other room. Hope my wife gets to her, so I'll be back in a second. Back. This is the BIOS programmer that I will hopefully use to remove the password. I've used it in the past. For example, for ThinkPad Lenovo's up until T430, you can use this thing to remove the password. And from T440 beyond, if you try to use this thing to remove the password, you will get in some sort of trouble. I have never tried it, just read reports online. It has some protections in place to prevent unlocking it with something as easy as this. So let's start opening this thing up in high speed, and hopefully I will also find the BIOS chip and obviously tell you how to upgrade this thing. If this is the only thing that you want to upgrade the memory, you simply remove your battery. Hopefully you actually have the proper latches, so you need to unlock them and then remove the battery. Then remove this cover right here with 2 screws, and then let me show you the specs of the memory that you can actually put in this thing. As you can see, standard DDR3 laptop memory, nothing special about it. So I'm going to put this back. you would do exactly the same as I'm doing here, but most likely in the top slot, because you probably already have the lower one populated like I have here. But in my case, this laptop will remain with, yeah, it has some dirt in there, with 4 gigs. It's enough for the purpose of this thing. For you, potentially, you could close this and you are done. But if you also want to upgrade the hard drive, you need to open this thing first, obviously have the battery out, and only then you can remove the hard drive cover. So the hard drive cover is partly covered by the memory cover. Why they choose to do this, way beyond me. If you are already in, pull on this thing and lift it up. In many laptops you simply slide it. In this one, nope. It lifts like this, and now you try to get this thing out, you wiggle it, and as you can see here, let me try and show you, it has a flat flex. So be extremely careful with this thing when taking it out from the hard drive. If you damage it, you need to buy a new one. And as I see here, it kind of goes underneath the motherboard, so you need probably to take out the keyboard to replace it, even if you get one. As for the size of the hard drive, this is not a thin one, this is a 9mm drive from what I see, and it works without absolutely any issues. So you do not need a thin hard drive to put in this thing. Obviously you can put an SSD instead of this. That is just as easy to do. And as you can see, I did it wrong because I forgot to take this. So my hard drive is back in, and that is how you actually change the hard drive in yours. It's in place. As you can see, it has some spacers in here that will push on it. If you put a thinner drive, a 7mm drive, you might need to add something on this, some foam, some really soft rubber or something like that. If you still put a 9mm drive, you are good to go. But most SSDs are 7mm, so yep, you might need to put a spacer in there so it doesn't bounce around. And now that was partially dumb from me because I didn't look inside to find the BIOS chip, but something is telling me it's not in a easy to reach spot. So let me stop the video for a moment and search for it. Could not find the BIOS chip, so something is telling me either I need to take this apart way more, or I'm lucky and it's just underneath the keyboard. But I've got the feeling that I need to take this whole cover out. So for the purpose of this video, that will not be done. That will be a completely separate video. So at this point I'm showing you how to close this thing up. After you have done your hard drive or memory upgrade, this thing will slide back in like this, and you are done. Ta-da! And if you want to see the BIOS reflash, hopefully password removal, separate video, once again it will be in the description of this one, but I have no clue if I will be able to do it or not. Remains to be seen. Yeah, after a ton of internet research that took about 5 minutes, I decided I'm not going to remove the password on this thing because of two annoying details. One, this keyboard is glued in place. Removing it would result in bending it, probably damaging it. I would actually need probably to change the glue underneath it. Nope. Going from the other side will not reveal anything, because from what I saw on motherboard pictures online, the BIOS chip is on the other side of the motherboard. So removing this would be not enough. I would actually need to remove the whole motherboard, turn it around, reflash the BIOS chip, put everything back together, test it. If it doesn't work, doesn't power up, or has any other sort of protection, remove everything back up, put the old BIOS image on the BIOS chip, put everything back in. Way too much work for this little laptop that actually only has a supervisor password, so it will boot up any way we want it, and I don't even think it will actually ask for a password unless we want to go into BIOS. So it stays as it is. It is way too complicated to worth it at this moment. So next, plug in that, try to power on and see what it actually does. As you can see, I have a bigger Toshiba on top of the small Toshiba. Tried with both of them. This charger is actually creating a voltage, but yeah, it's not a Toshiba charger, it's a who knows what charger. It's made by Delta Electronics. They make chargers for all the laptop models in this world. So I'm just going to put that inside and make contact like that, because it maybe just doesn't make contact. So I will actually see if it's a contact problem or they just don't like this laptop. This charger, sorry. And it's a contact problem. And this thing powered on by itself. Yeah, and it's obviously not making a great contact. But it's making contact. So I will see what I can do about this plug to make it work with our little laptop, because it just doesn't want to. Let's see. Yep, power on. Investigation time. I'm 99% I know what's happening. This thing doesn't enter enough inside the laptop, and the contact, the inside one, is too deep for this thing. So normally Toshibas have more shallow inside contacts. So what I will be doing at this point is cut a little bit of this and make this a bit thinner, so I can put this in a bit further. Let's see if it works. Managed to remove the aluminum that I put inside for it to make contact, but it went flying, so I cannot show it to you. What is E? To use, but believe me, I've removed it. So let's cut this thing. And it's done. As you can see, the charger goes in deeper now because I removed this part from it. It has absolutely no issue, doesn't affect anything. As you can see, or maybe you cannot see, let me try and put some shade here. Not charging, not charging, not charging. This is up until it went in before. Starting to charge, it's not all the way in, now it's all the way in. So it can wiggle around. As you can see, it's not disconnecting, which is decent, not perfect, but yeah, you can move it a bit. Now it's disconnecting, but probably any other charger would disconnect at this point, because this is almost when you are getting it out. You can see it's latching here, so that is the point where you are actually getting it out. So, job done. I was prepared to file on it and all sorts of crazy stuff. No need. So let's power this thing on. Let's give it a bell. Powers on. Toshiba. And no password prompt. So we do not care about the password at all. If this thing can power on without asking for it, I'm good. But obviously we don't have a system on anything on this thing, so press any key will help us with nothing. Let's reset it and try to enter the BIOS and see what kind of limitations we actually have. I don't know, F1, F2. This thing just died on me. That's a bit weird. have to. Yeah, now it's asking for the password. And we can actually, you cannot really see that, can you? We can actually enter the BIOS, I think, with F11, but we have limited functionality. Let's see what does that mean. So we can see the CPU here, 4 gigs of RAM, which is good. Security, yeah, we don't have a user password, we have supervisor password. Boot menu. I cannot access boot menu. That's a bit annoying, so it might be a bit harder to put a system on this thing. Cannot access anything here, but let me see. Enabled. Performance. Wake on none. Perfect that it's disabled. I don't like it. Critical battery wake up. I have no clue what that is. Panel open. No. Disabled. So. Beep sound medium. Sleep. Yeah. I cannot access the boot order. So it might be a bit tricky to put a system on this thing. So I might need to take out the hard drive and clone it in another laptop, and that would actually be annoying, but yeah, the things we need to do when people put passwords on laptops that they actually give to other companies to sell. So yeah, it's quite annoying. Let's see what I can do. I will shut it off or exit, discard and changes, whatever. Plug this thing in and see if we can actually boot from it, although I'm I'm not betting that we can actually boot from that thing. So let's see, maybe it does search on this for a system if it cannot find on anything else. I don't have high hopes, but maybe we are actually lucky. Nope. Yeah. Annoying. Really annoying. So power off. I'm not that smart, but I do have my moments. Seeing that it will not boot from the USB drive, I remembered that many people leave the optical drive as an option in the boot menu in the BIOS, even when setting passwords and whatnot. So let me just show you something. Why is this thing turning off? Is the battery not making contact and doing something bad, or this thing is making a short somewhere? Let me see. So it's not our connector, clearly. Something made this thing turn off. Anyway, let's continue. I will investigate that. Probably it was just the battery not making good contact. Although, it shouldn't turn it off. No clue. We'll see. So, plug that thing in and hit any key. What will it do? What will it do? Have some faith. As you can see, it's booting from the disk, so we have zero interest that it will not boot from USB. You can still put Windows on this thing without any issues, and I have no clue why it turned off at that point, because it is not turning off now. We'll check on that. Doesn't seem to be overheating because the fan is not even spinning up too much. Yes, it boots slowly from optical drives. Yeah, that's why we don't use optical drives. So that's that. I will put an image of Windows 8 on this thing and then upgrade it to Windows 10 and then give this a clean, fix the problem with the battery. When it arrives I will also add the second cover for the hinge. Yeah, that's about it I think. So let's continue. Just wanted to add that it can read my USB drive, it just doesn't want to boot from it because of that password. Don't really care anymore. So 8.1 64-bit should be the Pro version here. Hopefully we do have a Pro key on this thing. Yep, Windows 8 Pro key. Good enough for me. So let's continue. Ta-da! And we have Windows 8. This thing is charging, but it's only at 7%. So that little charger can handle everything, but it will charge quite slowly. The weird thing, it's not actually overheating. So it has a really good current limiting inside. Let's connect to Wi-Fi with this thing, because I'm not sure if Windows 8 installed the drivers for the integrated ones. Although, let me check. If we have the drivers installed for the integrated Wi-Fi, that will be way faster than this USB thingy. Some network adapters. Gigabit, that's the wired one. And I'm thinking this is actually its network adapter. So let's unplug this and see what happens. Okay, we lost one, but we still have network. Ta-da! So it installed the proper drivers. I can actually connect to Wi-Fi now. As you could see, Windows 10 is active. 8.1 is activated automatically. It got the key from the BIOS. Java seems to want an update, so why not? Battery is at 8%, so it's rising slowly. And to upgrade to Windows 10 at the end of 2018, simply search for Media Creation Tool. Click on the first link that you get. Download the tool now. Because this thing is also downloading, it might take a bit, but not too much. Although it is taking a bit, so sorry for that. Be back when it finishes downloading. And Java is installing, great. And it's finished. Show in folder. Cut. Go to the desktop. Paste. You can see this here. I can close the browser now. Downloads folder. And I just want to change the name of the user. It's Vostro from the previous computer that this clone of Windows is actually originating from. So let's go to, can you see user accounts? Come on, come on. You do not need to do this. I'm doing just to change the name. Because I want Windows 10 on a fresh user. So we will put W10 and change name. It will not appear only after a reboot or something like that, but we do not actually care about that. Java still installing. We run Media Creation Tool at this point. Yes. Things are going a bit slow because of the Java install in the background. Hopefully that will end quite soon because it's annoying me a tiny bit. But it would continue to try and tell me to install it if I wouldn't have clicked on accept. So yeah, be back when this thing finishes what it has to do. Next, click on accept. Let upgrade this PC now be selected. Click on next. And it's starting to download Windows 10, and yes, it will take a while depending on your internet speed. click on accept once again. And at this point we are ready to install. So it will install Windows 10 Pro and it will keep our personal files and apps. So everything that we have installed will be right here when Windows 10 starts up. So click on install. And from now on it will still take about an hour and a half. If you have an SSD and a really beefy CPU, a lot of memory, maybe you are lucky and it will only take half an hour or something like that. But on older hardware it takes a lot. But yeah, it is what it is, so we will wait. Don't be fooled by this that it's going really fast. It will reboot several times. And it's finished. Let's just make a few really quick settings. And now it should start up as it actually did. Ta-da! And yeah, I need to remove a few icons. These people's, I don't know what it is. People, then task view and whatnot. So, be back in a moment. Ta-da! As you can see, Windows is activated. We can delete the media creation tool and this shortcut of Edge, not required obviously. This Microsoft account will disappear from here, this message, when we restart the system. I don't know why it hangs like that. It happens at every single update. The battery, I think it's about half full already. Or actually not quite already, because it's been like this at work for a few hours now. So yeah, this little charger, it is able to charge it, but really slowly. But in all honesty, don't really care at this point. The really important thing for me is that it actually works. And it seems we do have some missing drivers, so I will force Windows to search for them online. For fingerprint sensor it wasn't able to find it itself. Another one it actually does found and it installed. Does find, sorry. Bluetooth. And I will also force it to update the display driver, because it seems we are on the basic one. So that's not quite ideal, as you can see. Wait, what? Already installed? I don't think so. Maybe it just... oh no, it actually is downloading them, so I don't know why that error was there. Anyway, whatever. So this is the only one that I need to install myself. Hardware ID, and I will search for 808FF and 168B and see what I can come up with. In theory, the update to Windows 10 is finished. In reality, as you can see, it's still doing stuff in the background. So I will just leave this on until probably tomorrow. OneDrive is installing right now. Great. And hopefully it will finish everything. Yes, this will happen probably to you after you upgrade to Windows 10. Your PC will do lots of annoying stuff in the background. So yeah, we will continue tomorrow. And this is the next day, and this arrived, which is exactly what we need. And the guys from Computers in Leeds are awesome. Obviously I will put new double-sided tape for both of them, because I don't want them to be lost ever again. And now I'm going to start simply cleaning this thing in high speed, putting some double-sided tape underneath the battery in high speed. It has a busted up USB port right in here. Let me get some light just to show you what I'm talking about. Somebody did a number on that thing, so I'm going to cover it up so nobody can use it by mistake and short something. And yeah, that should be about it. After that, hopefully we are done with this laptop and everything is a-okay. So let's get to it. Ta-da! And this thing is finished, and obviously Windows is doing updates once again. I don't know, the second day after it was installed. So yeah, 100% hard drive activity. Hopefully that will end soon. Yeah, the battery says about 3 hours and 30 minutes, so that is good. The screen is brighter than it might look to you at this point because I've changed the camera. On my other camera the battery just died. So yeah, double-sided tape, put back the hinge covers with really strong double-sided tape, so those should stay still in position. Filled up that USB port that is no longer working, so nobody will try to put a USB in and damage anything. And yeah, quite nice little laptop we have right here. Not absolutely 100% perfect because it's missing one port and you cannot remove the battery as easy as you would like, but apart from that, all is good. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, in which case please give it a like, check out my other videos, maybe subscribe to my channel, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye!